Hello and welcome back to the Spin the Rock podcast. I'm your host, Angel. With me today is my co-host.
Vaughn and only Vaughn today.
Unfortunately, no Eugene because his team low key got a dub this trade deadline, but he won't be here for that, unfortunately. But before we get into this crazy trade deadline, which is basically the main focus of today's episode, we do have some All-Star news updates, starting with the biggest one. LiAngelo Ball will be performing at the halftime show. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But that is crazy because doesn't he only have one song?
Well, he's got one big song. I think he had been doing music, in his spare time since the basketball career, isn't what he
Oh,
wanted
I
to be.
I
But
dead ass thought Tweaker was his debut song.
like I don't imagine he's gonna play any other song at the All Star. That's the song.
Yeah. No one wants to hear. No, that's his only. Oh, no one wants to hear "Forgive Me, Babe." But he only has two songs.
There might be two people out there who want to hear that other song.
All right, let's just go through the contestants. So, starting with the skills challenge, we have Team Cavs, which is Donovan Mitchell and Mobley. Team Rucks, which is Zakari, Rasher, and Alex Sarr. Team Spurs, Chris Paul and Wembanyama. And Team Warriors, which is Draymond Green and Moses Moody.
Oh, if Chris Paul and Wemby don't take this like with ease, then I'll be stunned. Also, have they changed it? Because didn't it used to be like 3 people per team? Now it's
Yeah, it
just
used to
two.
be three people.
I think it should be no people. Get rid of this, bro. I don't
Well,
know
I
who.
think it's four people now instead of three. Four teams, but two people.
Oh,
So it's like I don't know, 3 and 3 instead of nine. It's eight. One less
yeah.
person at the end of the day.
I feel like this skills challenge is more lowlights than highlights every year.
Oh,
Editor, insert Scotty Barnes attempt.
so me.
Yeah. I don't know how anyone could be excited for this.
Yeah, no, bro. The skill challenge is a sad shell of a all-star like contest, bro.
Like every fan floats the idea of like a 1v1 mini tournament. I don't even care if it's the All Stars. Get like anyone to do it.
You're
That would
not
just
the
be better.
only person saying that, bro.
Yeah, it's just
A
like we already know the All Star game is probably gonna like not be exciting as well, like it is every year. Like this is just the novelty of a new format. So like let's breathe some life into it different ways. Um, like I don't see the point in keeping the skills challenge at all.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna save my point I was trying to make for when we talk about the All-Star game because I do have thoughts on that. Next up, the 3 points contest. Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cameron Johnson, Damian Lillard, and Norman Powell. And if Lillard wins this, he'll be the only one. He'll be only the third person to win 3 3-point contests in a row. Can you guess the
I
two?
Clay and Steph.
Larry
No,
Bird
I was Larry Bird.
and Craig Hodges,
What?
NBA legend Craig Hodges.
Oh, I okay. I have like seen a video breakdown of this. He was nice. I think he set the record, didn't he? At one point. I don't know. I shouldn't be clowning on him. Like he was there for a reason.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
every time I hear it, it's just like a splash of cold water on my face.
I mean, he was shooting 50% in the 80s, 4 for 8, which is like back then, that was like probably mind blowing. He's taking another three. That's 8. That's his 8th three of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny. I did not expect to see his name today.
I can't even make a prediction because every time I do, it's like the person I predict is last. I mean, I'll say Tyler Hero.
Uh
I'll throw that name out there. I'll say that's who's gonna win it. But because I said that, he's probably finishing last.
if in a hypothetical world, this is at the beginning of the season, and Buddy Hield is gonna win this thing. But lately, he has been very poor efficiency wise. So I don't know if that will affect the 3-point contest. But I think Cameron Johnson or Damian Lillard. Those are my two picks.
Also, these contestants, top to bottom, they all make sense. Like, there's no Julius Randle in here.
No, it does. Yes, bro. For once, I'm actually excited about the 3-point contest because all of these guys can low key win it. All right, slam dunk contest. Matisse, I don't know how to say this name.
Modest Buzelis.
Modest Buzelis, uh, Stephen Castle or Stephon Castle, Andre Jackson Jr., and from the ashes he rises. Mac McClung is back. Well, this is his attempt to be the first player ever to win 3 slam dunk contest titles in a row.
It's just you blow off the dust, and now he's here.
It's like resurrecting him from the ice. It's like they put him in the freezer, they come out and they defrost him for the All-Star dunk contest.
And then every time this happens, it's like, oh, he should be on an NBA roster. It's like, well, we could say he should be, but he probably won't.
Yeah.
It
He's gonna get
does.
signed for sure. He's gonna get signed.
This is the year.
He's gonna
He's
get
out of the G
signed.
League.
And then he gets demoted. Like last year, it was the Sixers. They signed him right afterwards, and they
Yeah.
immediately sent him right back down.
It's just all for show, it seems.
Yeah.
Where are the NBA superstars? Like 1 year we had Jaylen Brown. I know he wasn't like his performance was pretty mid at best, but it was nice being excited we had a star in the show.
Mhm.
And I guarantee you, like half of the NBA fan base doesn't know 2 of these guys participating.
Yeah.
Like I can't say I'm super excited about it. Low key, I'm leaning on like get rid of the dunk contest, do something else as a
Yeah.
substitution because we keep doing this thing where we're repeating old dunks or making homages, and it's every year, and it's like when is it like stop being an homage and it's just like
A new dunk. When?
yeah.
Why am I seeing nostalgia bait in my All-Star dunk contest, bro?
Yeah, for like it's I'm over it. I'm tired of it. We need to see something mixing it up, you know. Yeah. Like I can't really say much more else than that.
And don't get me wrong, like these are all good dunkers, like Stephon Castle and Andre Jackson Jr. The guy from the Bulls, I have no idea who that is, to be honest.
Oh, that's their rookie. Like I think in our pre-draft, I think I talked about him, but like it's the Bulls and they're
Yeah.
dumb and they're not even playing a young guy like that. So I don't even know if he's good or not.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I know the other 3, and I know they are good dunkers. But at the same time, it's also like, yeah, maybe they are all good dunkers. Like if I'm an NBA fan who doesn't know them, I'm like, oh, like I guess they can dunk. But that same fan, he still wants to see like LeBron James, Ja Morant. Like that's what they want to see. So like Stephon Castle could be the greatest dunker of all time, but because he's on the Spurs averaging like 10 a game, nobody is excited about like he could be jumping from the 3-point line. But people still want to see that name. It just sucks.
Yeah. Like they could put on a good show, but also, like, who are the judges?
Oh,
I never looked up the judges.
I was gonna bring this up. I'm glad you said something. So the judges are Baron Davis, Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady, Jason Richardson, and this like for like this like NBA influence, this like basketball influencer named Jesser.
Oh, Jesser.
But
Um,
Jesser doesn't vote.
what?
Jesser is a representation of the fans, and for the first time ever, the fans are gonna submit a score for each dunk. And the average of all the fan submissions will count as one score that Jesser will then be like, the fans have said. So let's say Stephon Castle does like a Kawhi Leonard rim grazer, you know.
Right.
And I think it's a 10, and you think it's a 3, and Eugene thinks it's a 7. Dan Jesser will then hold up his iPad Nano or whatever, the new iPad Pro 7 from Apple, presented by NBA. Is gonna hold it up and it's gonna say the average of our score, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually kind of sick. But it's gonna not. It's gonna go away in 2 years because this is our dunk contest.
Oh,
Like,
like I hope the fans do take it serious. I hope they are honest, because you could just go rate it 1 all the way through the whole contest. They're getting rid of it like immediately.
oh yeah, like this would be like this would have gone hard during the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon contest, bro. So I'm kind of worried that it's gonna like be one of those things that's actually really cool, but gets scrapped because nobody cared.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that. At least they're shaking it up a little bit.
No, for real, because I'm tired of those fucking judges.
Oh my god, bro! D Wade ruined that last contest he did with Aaron Gordon. I could not believe my eyes. I mean, we're years past it. I got to get over it, but
What was it last year? It was Kenny, wasn't it? Who was low key like ruining it?
yes. Oh my god, I don't know how this keeps happening. It's just that one fucker.
It's that one. That's why they're putting Jesser in there. It's like, you know what? The fans are always complaining. let them vote.
It's
See how
time
they
for us
like
to
it.
prove ourselves.
All right. Next is the All-Star teams. I'll start with Shaq, go to Kenny, and then Chuck. So Shaq, he drafted LeBron, Steph, AD, Tatum, KD, Dame, James Harden, and Jaylen Brown. Kenny drafted Ant, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, who I didn't even know was an all-star, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Tyler Hero. And Chuck drafted Jokic, Giannis, SGA, Wemby, Sengun, Siakam, Kat, and Mitchell. What do you think of these teams?
Honestly, and Kenny did not stop making bad decisions. Easily the worst team of all. Like, they're not bums, but this is not one like candidate is crazy. How'd you let Shaq get so much? I know Chuck is top heavy, but Kenny, what were you thinking?
So, have you seen the conspiracy theory people are saying?
No.
That this is a roundabout way of just doing aging stars, rising stars, and international, and that instead of just making the teams that they like staged a draft. I think the reason why people are saying this is because everyone's saying in the real world, no way Shaq is getting LeBron, Curry, and Durant. Like,
Um, I mean, I don't buy
I
into
kind
the
of,
conspiracy. Like,
yeah.
they could just do that, and everyone would be okay with it. Hiding it would just is just so much worse.
Yeah, hiding it is so much work, but bro, I'm not gonna lie. If like I look at Shaq's team and I'm like, no way Kenny and Chuck let him draft that team, bro. I'm low key buying into this conspiracy theory.
If
Cause
I'm
like,
Shaq
bro,
and Chuck, I'm giggling like under my paper. Like, bro had Giannis on the table, and he picked Brunson. Like, the fuck?
Boy had a lot of people on the table. I'm kind of surprised Jalen Williams like wasn't like the last person picked in the draft. No hate to him. He's a really good player. But if I'm sitting there drafting, I'm not going, you know who I need? You know, Wemby still on the board, SGA still on the board. Give me Jalen Williams.
Uh, I I think part of it had to be like because he's got a lot of first time All Stars. Maybe he thinks they're hungrier. That's the only
Maybe.
justification I think Kenny would make.
Hmm.
Otherwise, L team.
Really, yeah. So, are you excited for the All Star game this year, Vaughn?
I'm excited to see how this new format works. Um, I would like because the fourth team. We didn't mention the fourth team. We don't know what the fourth team is because of the winner of the Rising Stars game. I hope they
Oh
go far, man.
yeah.
I hope they embarrass one of these All Star teams. If that happens, maybe it makes next year even more competitive because no one wants to lose to the Rising Star team.
Mm-mm.
Or maybe they all don't care and it's just a wash all the way through.
Yeah. I think no matter what format, what team drafting, not drafting, East versus West, blah, blah, blah. I think the players honestly could care less. I think at this point, the players really don't care about the All Star tournament. And like, even in this year's like interviews about it, they were like, I don't even know what's happening. Like, they don't care, bro. And I've been seeing people at this point, like, so desperate for a 1v1 that they're like, I don't care who's in it. And I feel like that's low key not good. That we're getting to the point where people are like, it could be Dinwiddie versus like Kaminga, and I would still tune in. And it's just like, bro, I think at this point, we all know that our All Star weekend is low key doomed because we can't get our players to buy into it.
Yeah, and it's great because like, what incentive can you really do? Because there's already money on the line. Like, get more money first place, second place. Um,
Yeah.
I don't think there is anything you can do. Like, if this doesn't work, nothing's gonna work.
Yeah.
Unless you put like a baby from your team city and be like, you lose, this baby is goner.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on your conscience. But other than that, there's nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I mean, the NFL was able to figure out like I guess their Pro Bowl was actually like the players were low key going crazy in it. I see all NBA, MLB All Star game, and like they're starting to take it serious again. And then there's like us in the NHL who like just can't get their players to give a single damn.
Maybe I don't know if this would work or not, but throwing out the game itself, just name your all stars, and they don't do the game, and maybe that makes outcry to bring the game back.
Mm,
Like, I'm not jealous of Adam Silver's position.
yeah, because he's tried a lot of different things, bro. Which sucks, like for him, because some of the ideas, some of them were, but like the drafting idea was low key good, bro. Like,
Yeah, I did like that. Oh, it does suck. There's this like cycle. Like, he tries new thing, exciting first year, falls off next year. They scrap it. And then it's just like always bring back East versus West, and then when East West comes back, it's just like all start being boring. So
Yeah, East people thought East versus West was the solution. Like, why, bro? Why did they think that was the solution?
as if we haven't seen years and years of that, and complaining it's so boring.
It's like they got rid of it for a reason. People hated East versus West. They got rid of it, and people were like, "Oh, bring it back!" Like as if LeBron wants to rep the West that badly, bro. Like no one like is repping the conferences like that anymore. All right, moving on. Pretty sure there's no more news. Trade deadline was insane this year. I mean, I haven't seen a trade deadline this jam packed in like forever, bro. Um,
Yeah.
how'd you feel about it overall before we get into the individual trades?
I think this shakes the league up in a very exciting way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think this period right now where players are like doing physicals and not playing games quite yet, joining the team, I think that part sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But like the rest of the season's gonna go crazy. Um, I think there's a lot of trades that killed some teams, but there's a lot of trades that are just like, oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Um, and I haven't felt this way about a trade deadline in a while, so I can't complain. Well, I can complain, but I can also look at the bright side of certain teams.
all right. So I'm only gonna do for the viewers. I'm only gonna do from February to the end of the trade deadline. Just because some of the other trades we already covered on the podcast, and also I feel like I don't look at the like December to January trades as like trade deadline low key. Those are like pick me's, like I just want this player off my team type of trades. All right, starting off on February 1st, Clippers were the first team to make a trade. They traded uh Mo Bamba and PJ Tucker and 2030 second round pick cash considerations to the Jazz, and the Clippers received Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills.
I sleep.
I sleep too.
This
I
trade
mean,
had me worried for the rest of the trade deadline. Like, is this all it's gonna be? Was I thinking
bro,
wrong?
I wasn't worried until I read the cast considerations and I was like, oh god, dude. Like once a team starts giving out cash, that's how you know that's usually been a sign that that trade deadline is mid. Because like every time a trade deadline had cash considerations involved, it was like nothing happened, bro. But then little did we all know, bro. February 2nd, which is crazy that this barely happened even a week ago. The Lakers landed Luka from the Mavs in a 3-team deal. So the Lakers got Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris, the Master Seed AD, Max Christie, and a 2029 first round pick. Meanwhile, the Jazz out of nowhere, secretly, like just kind of out of like in the background, got Jalen Hood and two 2025 second round picks. How do you feel? Where were you on when you saw this news?
I think I was on the fucking toilet, and I felt sick. People were like, "Oh, this has to be fake." Shams got
Yeah,
hacked. I didn't think that once. I'm like, this is just so stupid enough. It could be real.
yeah,
Um, like if I had a dumbass competition and my opponent was Nico Harrison, I gotta sell my possessions. I gotta go live in the forest. There's no way I'm taking that cake. Like, I really need to get in this man's skull. I need to think what he's thinking because none of it makes sense.
yeah.
It only makes sense if like Luca killed someone. I'm like,
Even then, bro.
I'm like,
If the police don't know, I don't know.
Bro, this
No.
is so dumb. You couldn't even do it in 2K. Like, not that's the valid thing here, but like the game is just like no, like there's no
Yeah,
possibility.
bro.
Oh,
I remember just laying in bed. I accidentally started falling asleep at like 9 p.m. And I remember like waking up at like 10 and like being like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta get some water in me. And I looked at my phone and I see like 4 messages from like 3 different people. The 2 messages from you and Eugene, because you guys were going crazy in the group chat. A message from Gabe, and then a message from Tyler. And it was just like, no way, like Luca to the Mavs. So I had no like doubt in my mind that like it happened. I was just like I instantly thought the worst, bro. I was like, what happened? Like, who did they like? LeBron and AD are on the Mavs, I guess. Like, I thought it was like this like groundbreaking trade, and I look at it and I'm like, the Mavs got robbed, dude.
mm.
The Mavs got full on robbed. You gave
I
up 3 players. Two of them were actually contributing on your team. One of them was the face and backbone, and you wouldn't win if he wasn't on the court. And you gave it up for a guy who's always injured. And like Max Christie's solid, but like he's not Luca replacement. And a first round pick in 2029, bro. That's crazy.
and you know what? He came to Rob Palinka with this trade. He's the one who's like, yeah, I want this. I want AD.
Yeah, yeah,
That motherfucker was like, yeah, for who? Luca. Like what? I also like they were doing this in secret for the
yeah.
past 2 weeks. They didn't let any other team know. If he told his grandma, she'd have been like, "That's a dumbass trade. Don't do that." I don't understand what advantage Nico Harrison thought he
Yeah.
had keeping this a secret from literally the whole world because it only hurt him. He didn't get any. He didn't do any shopping around. There are
No.
franchises that would have given everything for Luca. You could have young players. You probably could have had all stars. You could have had all the picks in the world. Like look at Rudy Gobert, 5 picks. Paul George,
Yeah.
5 picks. Mikal Bridges, 5 first round picks. And you got one, and you had to give up a second to make the trade work. I I don't know how you walk away from that feeling good about yourself. But then there was that press conference he did with Jason Kidd. Didn't tell Jason Kidd. Like, why wouldn't you tell your coach if you're gonna start trade your superstar?
Bro, he looks pissed too.
Oh my god, it was like Loki 1,000 yard stare. Just, I, I could feel the feelings burning through. It's just it's there's nothing like this to compare anything to. Um, like even Danny Ainge didn't know, and he was part of it. Like you didn't tell Danny Ainge. I know Danny Ainge was sick. That
Mhm.
man, that man must have been fuming knowing he just gave the Lakers Luca. But yeah, that press conference had no self awareness whatsoever. Like to come out that you wanted Luca gone for 2 reasons. A, he's fat. So what? Also, I'm looking at Luca. He doesn't look fat. But if you
No,
think
he
he's
does
fat,
not look like he's 270, bro.
it just doesn't make any. It, it's he could have no legs. He could be playing in a wheelchair. I would still love to have Luca on my team. No
Yeah.
arms. Like it doesn't make. Oh. And then the other issue was contract extension, supermax. Like there was doubt Luca would sign it. Like first of all, why was there doubt? The reporter asked, like, did Luca express any doubt? Like, no, nothing was verbally said by Luca. He gave no indication he didn't want to sign that extension. So I don't know how that is even a justification for this.
Yeah.
Like Luca literally just bought a home, a $15 million home. I've been hearing all about it. Um,
So I keep hearing about that house, bro. No, that's crazy. I saw another thing that was saying like what was the third? There's a third thing. I already forgot it. Oh, that like he didn't take conditioning seriously as well. Like
Oh, right.
that
Like he
like
wanted his own like trainers and medical staff, I think.
yeah.
So I part of it probably has to be like Nico Harrison is a control freak or something. Because I remember when they were about to go to the finals, Luca's drinking his beer. Someone snatches that beer out of his hands. Like let the man drink, bro. Let
Yeah.
the man be whatever. Because first thing Luca is doing in that press conference with the Lakers, Rob Pelinka says, "We're welcoming Luca's team to our Lakers family," and Luca smirking. Oh my
Yeah,
god! Like, why can't you? Like, that's not a lot to ask for.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
your heart and soul of the franchise. So again, question mark why that's an issue. Um, oh, bro, the shit he said where the team is now built to succeed now and into the future.
Mhm.
What future, bro?
Bro,
The 20
as if Luca didn't get to the finals year before, bro.
the 25-year-old Luca, and now you're
Yeah.
getting 31-year-old AD, who like we've seen him lead a team on the Pelicans, and he didn't go very far. Like he won one playoff series.
Yeah.
If you want Kyrie to be the guy, we saw that experiment fail on the Celtics. So like, not only have they not been the best 1A option, basically got two sidekicks
Yeah.
and two old sidekicks. Like AD's turning 32 this month. Kyrie's 30. Clay's fucking 35. Um, like this core is old as hell.
Yeah.
You have at most 3 years, and you have to win a championship. Whereas Luca, he's got 10 years to win multiple. Um, I just think Kyrie has a player option next year. Like he could leave. Like they could be bad this year, and he's dipping.
Oh,
I
bro,
don't.
like he
I don't even
must
blame
be
him.
pissed, bro.
You came here. You were happy playing because you were beside Luca. Clay signed here because Luca.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if I'm a free agent, why would I even consider the Mavericks if you're gonna do your superstar dirty like that? Like
Oh
they may
yeah, bro.
not
They
have a
tanked
major free.
everything.
They may not have a free agent signing that's an all-star or above for the next, I don't know, 15, 20 years. As long as
Yeah.
Nico Harrison is there, as long as those owners are still there. You know?
Trade is so
Shut.
bad. We got conspiracy theories, bro.
Oh my god.
We got people thinking that the owners are purposely tanking the Mavs franchise so they can relocate them to Vegas.
You know,
It's like
I could buy that because there's nothing adds up here, and if that's the reason, yeah, that could be valid. Um,
crazy. That's how insane the trade was, bro. Is that conspiracy theories are already people are digging into the background of the owners, like pulling up their political history, and it's crazy, bro.
yeah, shout out Rob Pelinka, bro. I've always been very critical of how he's not been like making the trades, making the signings to actually help the Lakers. Lakers have been a joke certain years. That man just secured his job for the next decade.
No, for real,
Um,
and he didn't even do anything.
no, it just flopped right
Land.
on his table.
Yeah.
um, but bro, also the fact that he said defense wins championship, and you think like Luca was average defender. He's got this reputation to be a bad defender. Last
Mhm.
year we went to the finals. He was pretty solid. Um, it's just like you have two guards who aren't grade A defenders, so that's always going to be an issue. But
Mhm.
why would you ever be like, oh, Luca's the problem, not Kyrie's the problem, or not? I haven't built the roster to support Luca's defense. How is how am I not the problem?
Yeah.
Um, also considering the Mavs were top 10 in defense last year, so I don't know where this criticism of the defense is coming from. But I guess a finals appearance means nothing.
I
I
guess
guess
so.
I guess Luca carrying teams to the playoffs that had no business being good I guess that means nothing. I guess 30, 40, 60-point triple doubles, 20 rebound games, 10 plus 20 assist games.
73 points.
Bro, like Hall of Fame career before he's 26.
Yeah.
Means nothing, I guess. Um, Not to mention like the storyline of like Dirk, European guy who was with you 20 years, passing off the torch to Luka, another European player who loves Mav. He loves being in Dallas. Guess that means nothing too. Um, like, bro, even business. Think of a business standpoint. They say NBA is the business. How is this a good business decision? How
No,
much
they were giving
revenue?
full on refunds for season tickets, bro.
Yes, like he's worth more than certain franchises. Like, you're not
Yeah.
going to tell me the Wizards are worth more than Luka Doncic to your team in value.
Yeah.
Uh, Jersey sales, people coming to your games, the merch, like sponsorships around in Dallas. Like Anthony Davis, love that man. He's not on that level though.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, bro. It really is. And like, bro, it's just the fact that like it, he only went to the Lakers, you know, he got basically not that much in return. And not only that, but he did it a year after he almost won a chip. And it's all because, and this is from his mouth, he was a little chunky and wasn't good at defense. Like, bro, you're batshit crazy if like hire a training team, let him use his own training team, and also maybe get like someone who could play defense to back him up. But like, don't trade him for a 31-year-old who's always injured, a first round pick that you might not even use, and if you do get, it's like okay, and then Max Christie, who like is solid, but at most would be a guy you would trade Marquis Fori and Maxi Kleber for. Like,
Oh my god! Like the Mavs fans are holding a funeral for the franchise.
oh
I get
yeah,
it. If they're jumping ship to another team, if they're going to be Lakers fans, Spurs fans, I completely understand. Um, like I was saying this before we started this. Luca got traded before Dwight Powell. What universe is this?
no, for real, bro. All right. Our next big trade happened the same day, but more so in the morning that day. Spurs acquire Fox from Kings. So the Spurs received De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. The Kings received Zach LaVine, City Cisco, Sissoko, a 2025 first round pick, a 2027 first round pick, a 2031 first round pick, a 2025 second round pick, a 2028 second round pick, and a 2028 second round pick. And then the Bulls, it was a three-way trade. The Bulls got Zach Collins, Kevin Herter, Trey Jones, and a 2025 first round pick. Another full-on, like one team gets instantly better, another team gets, I wouldn't say instantly worse, but they're definitely, if they had playing hopes, it's gone.
Yeah. Um, how did the Spurs pull this off? Like
The Kings,
you're
that's how.
true. The Kings, but also the Bulls and L.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you think okay. You're the Kings, you got 3 first rounds, 3 second rounds. Those are dog shit picks if you sort through them. Like they're gonna be
Yeah.
low first rounders. None of them are lottery. they're
Yeah.
they're nothing much.
Maybe the Hornets,
Yeah.
but like
Like
the Spurs, Timberwolves are all going to be like lower first round picks.
and then you get Zach LaVine returning to team up with DeMar DeRozan. Welcome back, Bulls, bro. Like Kobe White, Malik Monk, Keegan Murray is basically Patrick Williams equivalent, and then Sabonis and Vucevic. It's the Western Conference equivalent of those Bulls teams. Um, and then the Bulls, bro, you got Kevin Herter, Trey Jones, Zach Collins, and 1 first round pick for Zach LaVine. You were hanging on to him all these years for that. Um, Shout out Trey Jones, one of 6 point guards on that team, by the way.
Yeah.
But De'Aaron Fox next to Wemby
Spurs is
is
gonna be so fun to watch now, bro.
yeah. Like already we had a close game. De'Aaron Fox, one of the clutch players in the league, nearly pulled off a miracle. Was 0.01 seconds late getting the shot off to what would have been a buzzer beater for the win.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, they're already a must see team. And this is only Wemby's second year. They, it's just not fair.
No, for real, it's not. Yeah, bro. Like, I think I think the Kings lost because, like, I get you wanted to trade Fox, but you couldn't trade Fox for a player who's equal, or like three players to like try to make up one Fox. And then you have the Bulls, who, like you said, yeah, bro, you've been holding on, turning down trades, all just to get three role players and a first round pick, bro. Like, it's kind of sad. It's also like, bro, Kings fans, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry that they fired your coach. They fired your coach of the year and got rid of your star guy who's been there for like what, at least like 7 years now.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, when are they gonna? When are the Kings gonna see happiness again?
They got one playoff appearance, and they said, "Let's pack it up."
Yeah, they said time for a rebuild. We didn't instantly go to the chip. We need to rebuild.
I know
All
that
right.
those games, those Kings games, are gonna be ugly because they only have
Yeah.
one playmaker at this point, and that's only Sabonis.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to look like Jokic out there.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough. Also, no 3-point shooting whatsoever anymore. The mid range is back in Sacramento. All right. Next up on the third, we had a simple Hornet swap pick with the Thunder. Uh, anyways, uh,
Yeah,
the Mavs, after 2 days after destroying their team, they traded Quentin Grimes and a second round pick for Caleb Martin, bro.
I don't even like that contract too. 4 years, 28 million. Like for what?
This is a guy who is like getting like full 40 minutes and scoring like under 10 points a game, bro. Like, this man is getting 35, 36 minutes a game and is going 5, 5, 3, and 4, bro. And I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I think this would have been good if Luka was still on the team. I think he would have maximized them, but it's he might be getting ended of bench minutes. And Quentin Grimes was a solid piece for them too. Like his three
It's
point shot is back. He was playing high effort defense. I don't know what they saw in Caleb Martin that's like, oh, this is going to add to our team.
That's probably the trade they originally wanted to make. And so they were probably already locked into it and were like, I guess we have to still do it. All right. Next up, the Thunder received Daniel Theis and a second round pick 2031, and the Pelicans got some money. This this was the first step in the Pelicans destroying. This was such an underwhelming trade that I don't think anyone like even considered what the Pelicans were about to do to their team.
It was funny because I think Daniel Tice was like their only center left.
Yeah. Hey, good pickup for OKC though. It's kind of weird though because isn't I'm pretty sure Chet returned like 3 days later,
Yeah.
but Hey, good for them. They got a pick and a player for some money. So you know what? A win's a win. Um, next up. So next up was the Kings' second trade. Kind of funny. The Kings received Jonas Valanciunas, and Wizards received City Sissoko and 2 future second round picks. This was the trade that like I feel like they should have done instead of the first one, bro. Jonas Valanciunas would have been amazing for them with Darren Fox still on the team.
I guess it's the where's they from Latvia?
Yeah,
Sabonis and Valanciunas connection.
yeah.
Um, it doesn't help their playmaking. It doesn't
No,
help
not at all.
their defense. There's a lot of teams out here that probably could have used Valanciunas, but I wouldn't have thought Kings were the one at the top of that list.
No, for sure. Especially after the Fox trade. I honestly didn't see. I didn't think they would be doing more, and if they did do more, I thought they were going to look for a solid guard, maybe Cameron Johnson or something like that. But like Jonas Valanciunas was not who I was like. All right, we traded Fox. Now let's go get our boy. Now let's go get Valanciunas. It's such an odd trade. I don't really get. I didn't get the Kings' game plan this trade deadline.
No, they were just winging it. I
They were
swear
rolling
we
a
could be better.
D20.
We could be better GMs than some of these teams.
Bro,
Ruthless out here.
I've taken FIFA teams to the promised land, bro. I can save the Kings.
Uh,
All right. On the sixth, the Celtics traded Springer to the Rockets. The Celtics got second round pick. The Rockets received Springer and 2 second round picks themselves. How did you feel about this, Vaughn?
Jaden Springer was always a guy I liked if we weren't vying for a championship again.
Yeah.
I think he'll fit right in on the Rockets. And then we cleared a roster spot, so it's kind of like an underrated move.
Yeah.
It's nothing changing the landscape, but it is good for the team. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's not much else to talk about than that.
All right. Next up, the Wizards, who actually were pretty active this trade deadline. They received Reggie Jackson and the first round picks, and the Sixers received Jared Butler, 2 second round picks, and 2 second round picks in 2030.
Oh,
I think the Wizards are finally just I don't know what I think they realized that they never escaped rebuild mode and they shouldn't have traded for Poole in the first place. And now they're just undoing the mistakes they had because now they're just acquiring picks like crazy.
yeah, at the cost of certain players' careers, I would say, because
I know
looking
for
right
sure.
now, they're looking like the Shadow Realm. They're
They
getting
are
players are getting banished left and right.
NBA purgatory. All right. Next up, the Hawks traded Cody Zeller to the Rockets and a 2028 second round picks, and they received draft rights to Alpha Kaba.
I'm sleeping through this trade.
I I don't get the Hawks, dude. I really do not get the Hawks.
Yeah, like you still can't tell what they want to do. I wouldn't be surprised if Trey Young says this summer, "Get me out of here."
He did. I'm just like I just hope he doesn't threaten. I just hope it's like I am going like trade me. I'm leaving. Like it's always been threats. I need him to like actually get the hell out of there.
There has to be an official document on the GM's desk. I'm out.
Yes. Next up, the Pacers deal James Wiseman to the Raptors. Raptors received James Wiseman and some money, and the Pacers received a 2026 second round pick. Is this the end of James Wiseman?
I hate. I would hate for that to be the end. But looking, he's injured. he has not played up to expectations, and he got waived by the Raptors.
Yes, that's right.
He might be in Europe the next time he plays basketball.
It's so sad, bro. This was a guy who had a decent amount of promise, and it's just been like ever since Golden State sent him to Toronto. Not Toronto, to Detroit. It's just been like one thing after another for him. I feel bad for him. He shouldn't have ended up on Golden State in the first place. He's too tall. They were never gonna use him. I just feel bad for him, bro, because he looked promising, and it just like I honestly believe it was the wrong team that got him.
Yeah, like I can't really disagree with that. I was thinking, like, oh, they're gonna actually start playing him, and then he always got sent to the G League, and then you blink, and then he's out of Golden State, and then
It was just downhill
Detroit,
from there.
yeah, Detroit. There's fucking 4 centers fighting for a spot. He was never gonna flourish. Indiana was his chance, and then the injury bug caught him.
Yeah.
So just bad luck all around.
Next up, the Pistons received KJ Martin, 2 second-round picks, and the Sixers received some money again. Sleep.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting though that the Pistons are like they did some stuff this trade deadline that actually made them like I think they're trying to push for that playing spot. Trying to maybe even
I'm all for it. I'm tired of seeing them poverty.
yeah.
I don't know if KJ Martin how big he'll be on their team. He might only see like 10 minutes a game, but at least they're doing anything to set themselves up.
Which is crazy because I know they're sitting in 6th, only 1 game above Miami or Orlando. So I feel like they're just trying to make sure they stay out of the play-ins. Which is crazy that the Pistons are like 26 and 26, and that's a 6 seed in the East.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there will ever be a day where the East flip-flops with the West.
Yeah. All right. And then the Raptors received PJ Tucker from the Heat, from the Jazz, and a second round pick and some cash. And the Heat received Davion Mitchell, which is not that bad of a pickup. It's just like, is this his last chance?
I don't know about last chance. He seems like a guy who would float around team like an Ish Smith almost.
Oh, I can see that, yeah.
It's like you always need a good defender, and he's always been solid. It's just a matter of is he going to hit his 3-point shot.
Yeah.
But other than that, sleepy trade.
Very sleepy trade. A trade that I honestly did not see coming. Also, just like was like, okay, Bucks. The Bucks got Kevin Porter Jr. from the Clippers, and the Clippers got Marjon Beauchamp.
Yeah.
Mid for mid.
No, for real. This feels very equivalent to what these players are doing. Like you could say Kevin Porter Jr. has had some good years, but those have always been good years on bad teams.
Yes.
I don't think those stats have been honest. And he's been playing on the Clippers. I don't know. It's about 10 points a game, or maybe a little under. He's not a huge contributor, but at least he has a 3-point shot for the Bucks.
Yeah.
But like, it's another. He's a pretty. I won't say short, but he's not tall. He's just like another. Like they already have Gary Trent Jr., Damian Lillard. I don't. He's just kind of redundant, I would say.
I think good player on bad teams sums it up perfectly. I mean, on Houston, he was like 16, 15, almost hit 20 points a game. And then the second he's on the Clippers, his production is like slashed in half. I just think he's one of those guys who like needs the ball in his hands at all times to be successful. He's the definition of AU basketball, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like that era of basketball we were seeing from young guys who were like just chucking it whenever they had a chance, always ISOing. I think the league is already over that style of players, and now Kevin Porter Jr. is the first to suffer. Maybe the Bucks will do something with him. Who knows?
I
But
mean, they could use scoring.
they could
Can't
use.
it can't just be Giannis and Dame all the time.
Maybe this is his chance. Next up, the Clippers received Bogdan Bogdanovic and the Hawks got Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, and 3 second-round picks 2025, 26, and 27. I think you made the joke that Terrence Mann is finally untouchable.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
crazy. I don't know what the Clippers ever saw in Terrence Mann to the point he's untouchable, but clearly they were wrong. Um, I I know Terrence Mann was valued for his defense, but at this point, you're the Clippers. If they're trying to make a push, I think Bogdan definitely helps them better.
Get some 3-point shooting in there.
Yep, 2 point shots. Also 3 seconds and
Yeah.
Bogdan is kind of crazy. Especially when like Bones Highland isn't even like part of the Hawks' plans. I don't know how this helps the Hawks. Another like head scratcher from the Hawks. Like, what are you doing?
I think they're preparing a rebuild, bro. I think that's what it is. I think they know that Trey Young might be leaving soon because they instantly, as we found out today, they instantly got rid of Bones. Like he's already waived, I'm pretty sure. Either waived or traded. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, I think they waived him. I don't know how you would be Trey Young and be like, "Oh, I'm excited to play again next year with this roster."
Terrence Mann, I never knew what they saw in him, bro. I don't know why they didn't get rid of him. He only scored above 10 points 1 year. And the rest of the years he was just like kind of mid. And
Yeah,
so
they had him playing weird spots. He would play anything from point guard to small forward, or even like a power forward in very small ball lineup.
yeah.
Um, Maybe they saw him as a versatile player, but yeah, I don't see the shine that they saw.
Yeah, I don't either. All right. Next up, the the Bucks. This was probably the third biggest trade of the deadline. The At least head making news. A lot of people were talking about this, which I'm not gonna lie, I was sleeping on this trade. The Bucks received Kyle Kuzma, Jericho Sims, and 2 second-round picks, 2025 and 2026. This was a 4-team trade, by the way. The Wizards received Chris Middleton and AJ Johnson in a 2028 first-round pick swap. The Knicks received Delon Wright, draft rights to Hugo Besson, Cat and Cash, and the Spurs received Patrick Baldwin Jr. and cash considerations. At least they
Knicks,
got rid of Chris Middleton, bro. It was about damn time.
they did, but also I think they have a new problem in Kyle Kuzma
Oh yeah, bro.
because Chris, at least when he did play, still shooting 40% from 3 point. The
Mm-hmm.
only issue is he's old, he's getting hurt. You just never see him anymore. So I get why they did this. Kyle Kuzma, bro, shooting 28% from 3 point range this year. That is not helping Giannis. Even through his whole Wizards career, Kyle Kuzma's been shooting pretty bad from 3 point range.
Yeah.
But maybe it does get better playing alongside Dame and Giannis. They could get him easier open looks rather than him forcing the ball on the Wizards because he thinks he has to like be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was never going to be the guy. I mean, we've seen success from him on his Lakers championship run, but if only our Lakers fan could express how tired they got of him eventually,
Yeah.
because he does take stupid shots. So I'm not in love with this trade. I know I was saying they had to get rid of Chris Middleton, but I think the Wizards were also hoping to get rid of Kyle Kuzma. Uh, so this is just trading problem A for problem B. But I could be
Yeah.
wrong. It could help them in the long run. He's like another tall forward. Um, it's just a matter, are you gonna get defense out of him? Is he gonna help the offense? But everything else about the trade is just I'm sleeping on it.
Yeah. I say I'm sleeping on it for two reasons. One, the reason you just ended on, where like the rest of the trade, no other team really wins. Like the Wizards received Chris Middleton, but it's like I mean I guess that's their new main guy. But like I'm also sleeping because the Bucks could have done so much better. Like they could have gotten someone they actually needed and used and could be that third guy, could actually get their new Chris Middleton. Because I feel like people forget that when it was Drew, Giannis, and Chris, they were dominant and that's why they were able to get to the finals and win that ship. And they had those three guys and they led them to the promised land. And ever since then, it's been Giannis and sometimes Dame. And I just feel like they could have gotten that. They could have made Dame the third guy and gotten their second guy. But instead, they got Kyle Kuzma, who in my head, it's just going to be like just some points here and there. Like he's going to be the Andrew Wiggins of Milwaukee.
If he was an Andrew Wiggins for Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee would be happy with that. But I don't think you're even getting that, to be honest.
Yeah.
When this trade happened, I thought they were going to move Kyle Kuzma to another team for a new player.
Yeah.
I didn't see the fit, but no, we're stuck with Kuzma here.
Oh, right.
See the jersey swaps, like, oh, you got Luka and Lakers, AD Mavs, you got Jimmy and Warriors, and then Kyle Kuzma in a Bucks uniform. Like posting that right after the it's not the same.
That's rancid, dude. That's rancid. Chris Middleton on the Wizards is better than Kuzma on the Bucks. All right. The Lakers weren't done, and I'm actually surprised that the Lakers didn't just settle on this was probably another one of those trades that was probably their original trade, and they just happened to get Luka. Because the Lakers received Mark Williams, the Hornets received Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, 2031 unprotected first round pick, and 2030 pick swap. The Lakers needed a big for a fat minute now, and then they traded AD and needed a big even more, and they got that big. I'm a Hornets fan for this year, bro. This team is gonna be unwatchable. They have no centers, and not only that, but it's already been a struggle to be a Hornets fan, and now it's gonna be even more of a struggle.
It's funny, they're a rebuilding team doing another rebuild within their rebuild.
Oh,
yeah. Another team that's just destined to be bad because no one can get on the same page, it seems like. It is funny that AD has been begging for years. I want to say even Eugene was saying like we need a center, like a solid center, because so AD can
an
play
actual
the
center.
Yeah, and then they send AD's ass out and immediately get Luka that center.
It's crazy, bro. I honestly it's one of those trades where I feel like I would be like a Laker fan. I would have been happy if this is the trade we made without the Luka trade. Now this team is looking like a force to be reckoned with even more, bro. And I have a take I'm gonna say for the Jimmy Butler Warriors take, but yeah, the Lakers are low-key did amazing this trade deadline. It just sucks that the Lakers all they had to do was exist. Like
Right.
those people making those stupid ass edits, they're justified now. And that
Yeah.
makes me so angry.
Like it just had to be Lakers. Like the Heat do that all the time. There's a couple teams that do that, but it had to be the Lakers.
I do wish Eugene was here and could tell us why they traded Dalton, though, because I have no idea why they traded Dalton. I thought they loved Dalton.
If you need a starting center,
Trade
get rid of
anyone.
Dalton, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
Like
that's very fair.
you didn't want Jackson Hayes being the dude come playoff time. That man's getting. It doesn't matter what center. It could be Zubox. He's getting cooked.
Jackson hates Loki an awful center sometimes, dude. I would like him more if as a power forward or even like a bigger small forward, bro. But
Yeah, I love
center,
that too, but he just doesn't have that jump shot,
yeah,
so it's hard to play him.
that's very fair.
This Mark Williams being on the Lakers, high risk, but high reward.
Oh yeah, bro. Mark Williams, he was one of the bright spots on the Hornets, bro. He was 15 points, 9 rebounds. He's an actual center, like he's 7 foot, so you know you're gonna get what you need out of him. My only thing is that he's not a consistent force in the paint. But who knows? Maybe the Lakers can change that. But like he would have times where he would get like 4 blocks and like be dominant in the paint and like both offense and defense, you weren't stopping him. Or there would be times where he just would disappear and be nothing in the paint and like get blown by and not score and just get bullied on both ends. You just didn't know what you would get out of him. But maybe the Lakers can solve that problem.
I think my issue has been more he's low key another street clothes. The man rarely plays.
That's
Like
also
Nick
true.
Richards, him, they were always hurt on the Hornets, so they didn't really get to have an impact. And I don't know if like this is an issue you can fix. Is he just always going to be like this? It's worrying because he's a big man with a lot of injury history.
Yeah.
But if it does work out, he's eaten, especially beside Luka and LeBron.
Oh yeah, on the Lakers, that he's gonna be fed well. It's just is he gonna be good on defense? Because he's inconsistent on defense. He could either be a force or he can either be nothing. But like you said, he's always injured. But let's keep in mind the Lakers are used to that. They're used to that. He's already doing better. I mean, he's already played more games than he played last year, and he's on track to play the most games he's played his whole career. But that's not saying much when the most games you played was 43. And last year you barely played I think last year he only played like half the season. If even.
Like Zion level of missing games.
Yeah. All right. Next up, the Cavs traded for DeAndre Hunter. In return, the Hawks received Caris LeVert, Georges Niang, 3 second-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Not the pick I thought that not the trade I thought they should have done, but I'm low-key happy with this trade.
Yeah, like he could either come off the bench or play be their starting small forward. He could be their shooter. He could be a primary defender.
Yes, bro.
He's just a lot better than what Caris LeVert and Georges Niang are giving you. I know they love Caris LeVert, but you would have a game where he scores fucking 50 points, but the rest of the season he's scoring 10, 15.
Yeah.
You get lucky if you get 20 out of him. I didn't love his defense. He was just average. And then Georges Niang, I know when they signed him, they needed a 3-point shooter. But if you're trading it for DeAndre Hunter, you're not mad, especially when Georges Niang cannot move on defense.
Yeah. Not only that, but even at 3-point shooting, yeah, he was good, but there would be times where he would struggle at that. And then not only that, but that's literally all he could do, bro. he was literally only a 3-point shooter. He was not helpful anywhere else on the court. Maybe back in the early 2000s when you needed that guy just sitting there in a corner like this, he would have been an all-star. But in today's NBA, he was not someone I would think we should keep.
And then even like the picks you gave up, like some second rounders and first round swaps. Like I'm not
Yeah.
mad about this. I'm a Cavs fan. I think I would be more confident about their playoff run now.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm just surprised it took the Hawks this long, and even more proof that they're getting ready for a rebuild, bro.
Yeah. Oh God, bro. Where's Trae Young going? Where's he getting traded to?
Bro, I'm telling you, if you're a Hawks fan and you're listening to this podcast and you think Trae Young is going to be on this team in 2026, you're I need the hope you have. I need that hope in my life because that's insane. All right. I think this is the last, depending on what you think of the other two, this is the last big one. And that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-team trade, which ended up with Jimmy Butler on the Warriors. So I'm going to go through that trade real quick and then we'll talk about it. The Warriors got Jimmy Butler, 2 second-round picks, and some money. The Heat received Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell from the Raptors, and a 2025 first-round pick from the Warriors. The Jazz received. I don't know why I don't know why this is a 5-team trade, dude. The Jazz received Josh Richardson from the Heat, KG Martin from the Pistons from the Sixers, 2028 second round pick, 2031 second round pick in cash. The Pistons received Lindy Waters, a third from the Warriors. Dennis Schroeder, who got tossed around like a hacky sack this trade deadline, bro. Dennis Schroeder from the Jazz from the Warriors, a 2031 second round pick. A Raptors received PJ Tucker, another person who got passed around this trade deadline from the Jazz. A 2026 second round pick and cast considerations.
PJ
What
Tucker
did
getting passed around, that makes sense. He's not really been playing. He's old as hell. But
yeah,
Dennis Schroeder, I feel bad for that man.
bro? That man made a comment about how this is the modern day trade, like slavery, and honestly, bro, this man got proved right because I think it was the stat was like he got moved to 4 teams in 24 hours. Like that's crazy, dude. That man probably got on a plane, landed in I don't know the first team he got traded to, and then instantly got back on the plane. Or he probably sat waited in the airport for the trade deadline to be over because like that man got traded so many times.
Um. Okay. The bread and butter of this trade is Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, of course.
I, being forced at gunpoint to be Warriors fan this year, I like it. I've been waiting for the Warriors to do anything to show that they care about Steph Curry, that they still want to try and compete.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're a Warriors fan and you're mad about this trade, I think you're a little delusional because you gave up Kyle Anderson, bro, scoring 5 points a game. He's playing like 10 minutes a game. Like, you're talking about, oh, we have all this depth, bro. This depth has gotten you 10th in the West.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
even winning one play-in game. So you can lose Kyle Anderson. The Dennis Schroeder trade has been a disaster for Dennis Schroeder and the Warriors. If you thought you were getting Nets Schroeder, you were sorely mistaken. He has been rough out here. And then for the Andrew Wiggins lovers, bro, it's Jimmy Butler. Don't even try and trick me in saying, oh, Andrew Wiggins, he's younger. Bro, that man was looking like he was declining like 2 years ago. He's like up and down, up and down. You never know what you're going to get from Wiggins.
Yeah, yeah.
Them saying, oh, Wiggins has more points. Bro, it's like 17.6 points per game versus Jimmy's 17 a game.
Also,
And
keep in mind, Jimmy was purposely playing bad. Let's keep that in mind.
You should get his ass out of there. Just think like Jimmy Butler has been on some of the toughest. Like he was guarding LeBron in the finals. Like you're like, oh, we're losing Wiggins' defense, bro. It's Jimmy. You know what he can bring. He's not only scoring, he's doing rebounding. the defense, the communication, the assists. Like he's been underrated playmaker through his time on the Heat. Because like they've tried playing Tyler Hero at point guard, and he's more of a scorer. So it's been up to Jimmy, set up his guys. And just think how much more scared teams would be with Jimmy. That just opens up Steph for more opportunities. They're not scared of Andrew Wiggins, bro. I say let Wiggins shoot that. Um, and it's for like a 2-year extension. That's your window. That's the window you're going to be competitive. After that, Draymond, Steph, they're retiring or going on a farewell tour. So I think you should be glad you got something out of this because you missed out in the past way too many times.
Bro, also keep in mind his last game, right before January 31st, he shot 6 for 20. This man shot 30% from the field, and you're telling me Jimmy and that was just a one-time thing. Before that, he shot 29%, 5 for 17 against Utah of all teams. This man was like Bond said, was actively declining in front of all of our eyes, while another man was purposely playing bad to get traded, and they still have the same amount of points. Like, bro, get out of my face. One was playing bad, and one was trying his hardest, and Jimmy Butler had basically the same amount of points. Like, come on. My thing is, and I made this comment, I am a Warriors hater, especially Steve Kerr. I think Steve Kerr should not be coaching in the NBA. I would even want him coaching my little league team. But I honestly do think that this isn't enough, and they should have done a little bit more because at most they're guaranteed play-ins, and they can maybe sneak out of it. But I think they're a second round exit still. Their depth is still pretty awful. Jimmy Butler and Curry, once they step off that court, teams are going to take advantage of that and can easily run up the score or catch up or do any. Like, I just think the Warriors are going to be more successful next year than they will be this year.
Yeah, I agree
If
with
they
that.
do something. I'm assuming they'll do something in the offseason, or I'm assuming they'll make another trade move when they realize that, like, oh, we're not as good. But I don't think, if I'm a Warriors fan, I wouldn't freak out when you lose in the first round this year. Because I think next year, if you guys do something in the offseason, you're going to be scary. I just think this year it's going to be a wait thing. I think a lot of Warriors fans are assuming the worst and are like, we lost Wiggins. Oh my God. We got Jimmy Butler, who is, like, in their eyes for some reason not as good. And then they're gonna freak out when they like lose in the playoffs, because they will. And then the Warriors are gonna do something drastic like they always do. If I'm the Warriors fans or the Warriors front office, I'm gonna see the season as the first step, and next season is like your final move. But like, I feel like this year it's gonna be a wait and see. I have more hopes for them next year than I do this year.
Yeah, I still think they need like a defensive big man,
Yeah,
unless they're betting on Trace Jackson Davis. Um, but they also got away with their youth. They only gave up one first round pick. They still have, pods. They have Jackson Davis. They kept Kaminga
yeah.
because that KD trade fell through.
Which, thank God, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, so I don't know how you're a Warriors fan and you're mad at this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, there's a lot worse moves they could have done. Like Vucevic was probably on the market, and I don't think he's really helping them.
Yeah.
KD, they would have given up way too much for KD. Just for
Mm-hmm.
KD to come here and be mad he's back in Golden State.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Butler was the best option here. But like you said, the success isn't going to come this year. It's what they do in this offseason that's going to determine how far they're going to go in the coming years.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. But it's going to be fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to. I don't know if he's played already, but I am looking forward to that first game.
Yeah, like I've had enough of Steph hurting out there.
Yeah,
Also, Draymond and Jimmy on the same team.
that's gonna. This is what I'm worried about. A lot of people are saying, I don't get why no one wants to come to the Warriors. There's your answer, bro. Draymond Green is literally the ball and chain to the Warriors franchise. He is no like. I'm surprised they got rid of Clay before they got rid of Draymond because he's honestly holding them back from so much, and not even his play, but his attitude, his constant flagrance, his just like the way that like nobody wants to play with him, bro.
Yeah. Plus, he's got his podcast. Like the whole thing about punching Jordan Poole in the face, he was milking that for the longest time. He's still milking it somehow.
Yeah,
So if you get a scuffle and it's public, you know he's gonna hop on the pod.
yeah, for sure. Jimmy Butler is a long-faced, coffee-drinking.
Yeah, that would be
um,
interesting. Oh, you know what? Jimmy and Draymond versus Steve Kerr. That could happen.
a triple threat match going down in the Bay. All right, two more trades, and then we'll get out of here. Raptors landed Ingram in the 3-player deal. Raptors received Brandon Ingram. The Pelicans received Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk and a first and second round pick. Pelicans, I think they're getting ready for that rebuild. I think Zion is next. I think McCollum is next.
I'm complete opposite. I think the Pelicans are delusional. I think they're digging their trench deeper.
You think so?
Unfortunately, I don't want them to. But I think they're gonna like Kelly Olynyk is a 3-point shooting big, and they're like, oh, we
Yes.
can put him right next to Zion. They're still thinking about Zion. They're thinking Bruce Brown. We re-sign him this offseason. We got another defender to replace Dyson Daniels. I mean, the first round pick, second round pick, I don't know what that's going to amount to, but Raptors kind of fleeced them. I'm not going to lie.
Raptors fleeced the hell of them. Raptors low key. We talked about this yesterday, or or 2 days ago. Raptors, who's beating this team in the play-ins, bro? This is the first super team of the play-ins, bro. Because they low key built themselves a nice little play-in squad this year.
Yeah, okay. We got Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, now Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. That's a tough team to guard.
That is, bro. I'm telling you, they're sneaking in there. They're going to be putting it on the board. The Raptors are going to be the reason why the Sixers don't make the play-ins. They're going to steal. They're going to steal that 10th seed, bro. And they're going to knock the Sixers out of there, bro. I'm telling you, the Sixers are going to finish 11th, and it's going to be because of the Raptors.
That would feel good. That would feel good for me to watch.
I don't know if it will happen. I'm putting it on the board. It's one of my weaker predictions I made. It can easily be defeated if Embiid plays 5 games in a row. But I don't think they will. I think the Raptors are going to be the reason why the Sixers finish 11th.
No, that's very possible considering Joel Embiid is never going to play a back-to-back for the rest of his life.
No, never again in his career. His words, by the way. We're not just saying this to be Embiid haters. He said this himself. All right. And lastly, a trade that I don't think anybody really wanted to see. The Wizards acquired Smart from the Grizzlies. The Wizards received Marcus Smart, Colby Jones, Alex Len. Oh, 3-team trade, by the way. Sorry, the Kings were involved for some reason. A 2025 first-round pick. The Grizzlies received 2 second-round picks, Marvin Bagley, Johnny Davis, and the Kings received Jake LaRavia.
I hate this for the Grizzlies.
I hate this for the Grizzlies so much. I don't know why they did this.
It must have been a money thing. That's the only reason I can think of because, Marvin Bagley is I don't even consider him an NBA player. Neither do I Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis is fucking Killian Hayes 2.0. The second round picks, if you're competing now, you don't really need them.
Yeah.
And I know Marcus Smart. I know he's been injured on the Grizzlies a lot. You hardly even see him. But at
Mhm.
least he was a defensive weapon.
Yeah.
When he does play, he's holding his opponents below 40% field goal percentage. So it's not like he's washed. His offensive game has always been iffy, but you got so many pieces to make up for that. I really thought he would have been part of a bigger trade if you did trade Marcus Smart, but
Yeah.
this is not a haul. This is like the recycling bin.
I I really do think it's just a money thing, like you said, because like why I look at Marvin Bagley and I don't think okay, solid swap. I think okay, nice roster fill, bro. Like he hasn't been decent since like his like early Sacramento days. Like I think once he hit his career high, it's just been a steady decline since.
I don't even think he's going to play for them because you got Jaren Jackson Jr., Brandon Clark, Zach Edey, Santi Aldama,
Yeah.
Jay Huff. That's 5 big men.
Yeah.
This man Bagley's not breaking the rotation.
I like Johnny Davis pickup more than I like the Marvin Bagley pickup. And Johnny Davis is averaging 2 points a game. But it's just like it doesn't make any sense why once again the Kings just doing shit to do shit. Like just want to be included, I guess. Like they didn't lose anybody good, but like did you have to give up like anything? Like I feel like you could have gone away with just like not doing anything the rest of the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Is
That's
Jake
what
LaRabia that good of a pickup that you needed to get involved in this 3-team trade?
he's had his stretches, but I don't know. I don't even know how you were brought to this table for this
Yeah,
discussion.
like I'm pretty sure the Wizards and Grizzlies were like the Kings are just doing random shit. You want to see if they want to get in on this? Like, overall, insane trade deadline. Probably the craziest we've seen in a really long time. The final thing I wanna bring up before we call it here. Steve Kerr said they should probably push it to during the trade deadline, during the All-Star break, before the All-Star game, so that way players don't have to deal with this in the middle of the season. They have time to get where they need to be, and they don't find out during games, as if we saw the Heat reacting to the Jimmy Butler trade, KD on the bench reading the news off his cell phone. Like I I hate Steve Kerr, but I think this is a smart idea. There should be no reason why players are getting traded in the third quarter of a Tuesday night game.
It's a valid sentiment, but I'm petty and Steve Kerr loves to complain, so I'm like, nah, just let it continue.
Nah. In fact, we should trade them in the morning of these games so their day is ruined.
Yeah, like I get why he said that.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting void of time that goes by. Like there's these teams set up to fail for certain games because they lost like 6 players or something.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
also think it's a little interesting to watch how that plays out because there's some teams, you got some bench warmers that are playing that never see playing time but have to get playing time, and they show out every now and then.
Yeah. Like the Mavs, they had a game
Bro,
and they lost 5 players that day.
they beat my Celtics, bro. It would have me sick. No Luca, no problem, I guess.
No Luca and no other 4 guys that's usually starting on that team. It's crazy. Overall, pretty fun trade deadline. Not for me. One team got worse, and the other team, even though they're third in the West right now, did nothing again. So you know what? I think the most we got out of the Nuggets was Coach Malone saying we're not trading Michael Porter. So that's the most action the Nuggets did in the trade deadline. Say who they're
But
not trading.
they didn't make a trade. The Trailblazers, who have like 4 centers that a lot of teams could use, didn't make a trade.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves needed to make some sort of
Move.
shift. Yeah, some difference in roster. Nothing. Not a
Bulls somehow, once again, even though they did something, again pissed off their entire fan base.
He can't show his face. There's 2 GMs that can't show their faces in public. That's Nico Harrison and the Bulls GM.
Well, Nico Harris has hired a security team.
As he should. Bro, I seen a post. There was a start bench cut. Nico Harrison, Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler. It is rough out there.
Yeah, I hope he stays safe because but I don't know, bro. It's a crazy trade deadline. A lot of pain for some people, and for Lakers fans, nothing but joy. You got the face of your team for the next 5 years.
I'm so sick. It was just a layup for them.
No, for real. Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe for that good old video format. We're on all podcast platforms, so make sure you give us that good old 5 stars, leave a review. Let us know winners and losers this trade deadline. Which one was your most which one got you the most hype? Which one got you agonizing pain? We're on all social media, so make sure you like and follow us there for clips and all that good stuff. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week.